everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Leslie. You are in my kitchen down on our farm, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Today we're doing something special. Hey look, I'm Leslie, but I'm AKA Bubbles to my grandchildren. Today is kind of all about them, but you've actually already seen that. If you follow me, if you've watched Saturday's video, you know what we did with the boys. I also mentioned on that video that I was going to make $1 million spaghetti, and it would be in a separate video. So here it goes. This is the $1 million spaghetti. I'm making hamburger helper for the boys because they absolutely love hamburger helper. In fact, they call it hamburger macaroni and cheese. But we are going to make that for them. But I heard Bryant mention to Isaac and to Caroline that Mama was cooking. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have enough hamburger helper to go around. So I thought, let's make a $1 million spaghetti. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to get everything ready. I'm going to chop up an onion, go outside to the freezer and get one of my garlic pucks out. And so I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. It'll only be a millisecond. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I have a pound of hamburger. The recipe actually calls for a half a pound of hamburger and a half a pound of Italian sausage. My family does not like Italian sausage, so when I make recipes that call for it, I'll either use a breakfast sausage or ground beef. So I'm using the whole pound of ground beef. And I'm just going to get this broke up. Now, it doesn't call for a lot of seasoning other than salt and pepper, but I am going to add some Italian seasoning. That's just what I do. So I will type the recipe up as it is written, and then I will put down in the bottom of things I do differently, okay? Or at least I will try to do that. Y'all know I'm terrible. I don't always get the recipe in the description. That's just the way my life is. Sometimes I am videoing, editing, and uploading right at the last minute before it goes live. And so there's not a lot of time. All right. So we are going to fry this up. I'm going to go grab some seasoning. And I'll meet you back right here. I'm also going to go ahead and put, it calls for 1 small onion, but I'm using kind of half of a large onion in here. And I'm just going to cook that with the meat while it fries up. So I'll be right back when I get all my seasoning out. All right, so let's add our onion in. And we'll just cook that up with the meat. That way the grease from the meat will help it cook down. All right, I'm going to add some Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, okay, and we're going to add my garlic puck, which is where I just took a lot of raw garlic, mixed it up in a food processor or chopper, scooped it out by a cookie scoop, flash froze them on a cookie sheet, and then bagged them up and froze them. And so when it calls for a clove or two of garlic, I just go grab one of those garlic pucks out. I saw that was done on Acre Homestead and Becky, and I just thought it was ingenious. So I started doing it, and I love it. All right, we're going to get this to frying. And I'll bring you back when we add in our garlic. All right, let's add our garlic in. I'd cut it off, but let's add here is my garlic puck. It's been sitting out, so we're just going to add that in and cook that up. We don't need it to cook a whole lot because we don't want it to burn by any means. And once I get the garlic mixed in and fragrant and everything, what I'll do is I'll check for any oil. And when I drain it out of this pan, I just use the paper towel method. I cut the burner off because it's not safe to do it with the burner on. But I have done it with the burner on, but I shouldn't because it is a live flame underneath here. And I'm being sure to get it all broke up because you surely don't want to bite into a whole piece of thick garlic. This smells wonderful already. All right, I just pushed the meat over to the side. I'm going to grab some, cut the burner off. I'm going to grab some paper towels. Kind of tilt it down this way and let the grease run down. And then I go in with the paper towels, keeping it tilted because more's dripping. And then I'll get a pair of tongs, wipe the paper towel around, and throw it away. All right, we have it drained. So now I'm going to take a jar of spaghetti sauce. I always doctor my spaghetti sauce up, so it doesn't really matter to me which brand, but if you have a favorite brand, then by all means use it. Now I'm going to add almost all of this jar. I'm going to save, you know, maybe a little bit in the bottom, and you'll see what we do with that later. Okay, I'm going to save maybe a third of a cup, fourth of a cup, I'm not sure. And we'll actually add just a splash of water in here and shake it up to be sure we don't lose anything. But I want to stir this up real quick. I'm also going to get my water on for my noodles. That burner's acting up for some reason. I'm actually not even going to use that burner. What is going on? I'll use this burner because I know it works. I figured it out. My things aren't on there. They're whoppy-cocked, so I'll fix them once they cool down over there. But we got our water on. I'm going to salt it and get it ready for a whole pound of spaghetti noodles. I'm also going to go grab one of my tin pans. You know, I love to use those when I don't feel like having a lot of cleanup. And that's the way it is today. So I'm going to go grab those, get this to boiling, add some salt, and I'll bring you back when we make the cheese mixture with the sour cream. So I've moved over here to the island. I think I kept saying sour cream. It calls for sour cream, but I was referring to the cream cheese, but I think I kept calling it sour cream. Anyway, I have it softened where we can mix it. I'm going in with a fourth of a cup of sour cream. I'm over here. I have my tin pan and I've actually sprayed it good. The water for the noodles is still coming to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to scoop out a fourth of a cup of sour cream. This is going to be so decadent and delicious. I hope I can get somebody to make a salad. We shall see. Okay, there we go. And a cup of cottage cheese going in. If you prefer ricotta, that's fine. We happen to like cottage cheese around here, but I know not everybody does. So, and it's just something easier for us to keep. Caroline loves it on peaches. I love it with peaches. In fact, I may have that for a snack. But so we're just going to mix this around really well. And you know, I think we need to season this up just a little bit. Let's add a little bit of garlic powder. And let's add a little more Italian seasoning. And let me grab a little bit of salt. All right. And we're going to mix that up. And you add more or less or different spices, whatever you prefer. This is what is so fun about cooking. I've been fussed at a couple of times about not following the recipe, but I consider it an art. I mean, and you take an inspiration and you go with it and you just make it your own and what you and your family prefer and like, just like the Italian sausage. You know, some recipes are authentically Italian sausage, but we don't like it. So I don't want to miss out on that recipe just because we don't like Italian sausage when you can easily substitute it for something different. So here is our cheese mixture. I have our sauce right here. It's ready to go. Our cheese mixture is ready to go. I've got some mozzarella shredded cheese out. I'm going to put just a quick splash of water in the rest of that sauce in the jar. You don't want to put much, just a little bit to clean out the jar. And I'll meet you back just as soon as the spaghetti noodles are done. So once the noodles are done, and I'm going to take them over here to the sink, drain them in a colander or a sieve of some sort. And then I'm going to place them in a mixing bowl where I'm going to mix them with, I'm going to go ahead and have the butter. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it in the mixing bowl. I hope this bowl will hold it. Anyway, I'm going to stick the butter in there, mix the noodles in with the butter and our leftover sauce with a little bit of water added just to clean the jar. I'm going to mix that together in this mixing bowl. So I've got a lot of dishes going. I've got my frying pan with my meat sauce. I've got my bowl with my cheese. I've got this bowl that I'm going to mix the noodles and butter and the remaining sauce in. And then I have the pot with the noodles. So there are a few dishes with this, but you probably could condense it some way, shape, or form. But this is how we're rolling today. So we're just waiting for the noodles to get done, and then we can put this together and have it ready to go in the oven. I'm not going to put it in the oven till closer time for supper, but that'll be here before you know it. And I've got to mow the yard and set up a tent and all kinds of things. So we're having a fun evening tonight, and I'm excited. So stay tuned for this $1 million spaghetti. You're gonna feel like $1 million when you taste this. So don't go anywhere. I'll meet you back right here as soon as our noodles are done. So we have drained the noodles, and I'm just mixing that butter in, making sure it gets melted, and we'll wait and let that get all melted, and then we'll add the rest of our sauce in here and mix that in. Probably should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. Only because I make a mess. Not because the bowl is not big enough. It really is plenty big, but I'm a mess maker. So I'm just going to keep kind of stirring this around, getting that butter, coating all that. That was 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter. All right, so let's go ahead and give it another good shake. And we're going to add the rest of this sauce. Right in here with the noodles. You just want them to get a good coating of the tomato sauce. I contemplated opening another jar but I didn't because I don't want this to be an terribly expensive meal. And a lot of this stuff I already had on hand. So, okay. I think we're good there. All right, so let's get our pan over here. And I'll show you how we're going to do this. And we'll set the onion aside. I'm going to layer this pan with half of the noodles. Going in with half of the noodles. And I'm thinking that looks to be about half, don't you think? All right. And then comes Mr. Bryant.
Hey, spaghetti!
$1 million spaghetti.
Mamma mia!
Okay, so now on top of this half of the noodles, we're going to layer our cheese mixture.
Feeling Italian, Mom?
Well, I didn't think I had enough hamburger helper to go around, so.
Then why you just gave me that face?
He was tasting the sauce. The meat sauce. They didn't even see me give you a face.
Why, they're not seeing it?
They're seeing this, but they're not seeing my face.
Oh.
All right, so we're just going to spread this around. Very much like a spaghetti type lasagna. And I want to get every last bit of that out. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the other half of our noodles. And I'm just going to shake them around. And I'm going to take that same spoon and I'm going to scrape out all this stuff. All right. Go ahead. He's wanting to get ice out of the refrigerator. He was, yeah, that was funny.
Be quiet.
You were doing good. Doing good. Okay, so now on top of this half of the noodles, we're going in with our meat sauce. Now, I'm not ready to bake this, so we will definitely just let this hang out. We'll stick it in the refrigerator, let it hang out until I'm ready to bake. Mushrooms would be delicious in here. I'm not sure everybody in my family likes mushrooms, so I left them out.
I love them.
I know you do. All right. So we're going to spread this around on top. This is going to be so good. My mouth is watering already. I hope I can get a hold of Caroline and tell her to pick up salad stuff. Because this was not my plan for tonight. My plan was hamburger helper.
If not, we can go get some.
And I have barbecue bread, which is the kind of bread we eat with spaghetti. So, all right. So now on top of this, let me wipe my hands. I'll be right back. All right. So this is some mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to break it up. And I'm going to put about 2 cups on the top of this. And then we're going to sprinkle on top of that some Parmesan. Now, freshly grated Parmesan is ideal. But, of course, I don't have that. Because, again, this was not my plan for supper. So I'm not quite prepared. So we're just going to use the green can Parmesan, which we happen to like, and I don't worry about the cellulose stuff in it. So, but I know some people do. But by all means, freshly grated Parmesan would be best. All right. So now we're going on with the canned stuff. And we're going to use about a half a cup to 2/3 of a cup. All right, I'm just going to wrap some tin foil on this. And then when it's time for supper, we'll preheat the oven and bake it, and then we will be ready to eat. And it is going to be absolutely amazing. So we will see you back when it's ready. All right, everyone, the casserole is out of the oven. We're just waiting for Isaac and Bryant to get in from the hayfield, and Jessica, I think Jessica's there helping them, so we're just waiting for them to get in. Jamie has gone and got we had a loaf of the barbecue bread, but my family loves it. Everybody's here tonight, so they actually had a loaf, so we're going to add to it and maybe do 2 loaves of barbecue bread. So everything's ready. Caroline got the salad. She made the salad. She also picked us up some donuts for dessert, and it's going to be a great night. So stay tuned for the taste test of the $1 Million Spaghetti. All right, everybody, we're going to see what we think of the $1 Million Spaghetti. Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. Isaac has already says, "Is this all you made?"
Here we go. Very, very delicious. Good and cheesy. Is that ricotta cheese? What is that?
There's some cottage cheese, and there's sour cream and cream cheese.
What do you mean?
Very, very good.
Very, very
Delicious.
You mean?
Good. All right, what do you think, Levi? What do you think?
What's that, buddy? Say phenomenal.
Delicious. Delicious.
And I like it for my cookie. Phenomenal. What's it called?
Phenomenal.
Wow, it's delicious.
Delicious. And Isaac, Jess, what do y'all think?
It's so good. I'm not a big fan of spaghetti, but this is amazing.
This is amazing. That's coming from somebody who doesn't generally like spaghetti, but
He does not like spaghetti.
he says this is amazing. Jamie, have you tried it yet?
Yeah.
He's going in.
That is good.
That is good. Caroline, have you tried it yet?
Benji approves.
Benji approves. All right. There you have it, everybody. We're going to sign out for now. I will see you guys next time on The Farm and Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.